The Serena Show. Dance with Serena and learn the fun way to beauty, grace, and a youthful figure.
This footage that you're watching now was taken at the New York Coliseum. As you can see, the name of our studio then was Stairway to Stardom. The name Stairway to Stardom was given to the studio by the gentleman who owned the studio. His name was Joe Williams, and he called himself King of the Belly Dancers. He was a booking agent, and he mainly booked belly dancers, sending them not only to various parts of New York State, but also all over the country and all over the world. After a while, we took over a Stairway to Stardom and changed the name to Serena Studios. My technique hasn't really changed that much over the years. I use the zills, and I do a lot of slow movements as well as fast movements, playing the zills in various rhythmic tempos. The New York Coliseum is one of many places that I performed where people who wouldn't normally or ordinarily see belly dancing could come and watch a show like this. I liked doing it in various venues like libraries or the Coliseum or places like that rather than nightclubs, because these people were introduced to a very, very special and very, very beautiful dance. My costuming was made partially from an Indian sari. The sari had a border that was embroidered, and I always used very lavish fabrics for my costuming. The veil is gilded and striped, and in this particular segment, I am wearing dance shoes that have heels, though later on I danced with bare feet or a soft, flat slipper. As you can see, I'm playing the zills very, very quickly, and I'm so happy to say that the audience was very attentive. And what you're going to see now is a collection of highlights from my many years of teaching. Some of those highlights were filmed in my dance studio and some were filmed in a professional television studio. But together, they demonstrate a step-by-step approach to the Serena technique. Now, join me and let's dance. Hello, my name is Serena, and this is a private lesson with Lisa. We're going to start with 9 body positions, my basic body positions in Oriental dance. Let's start, Lisa, with the shoulder slant. I'll be mirror image to you. Just lower your shoulder softly, slowly. Same thing on the other side. Let's, as we do the right shoulder, bring the left arm up, head, and down. Good. Very nice. Same thing on the left side, over. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good wrist action. Let's try the shoulder slide, where you lift your shoulders as you go out to your side. Right, don't lift too high. Keep it like a straight line of growth. That's perfect. So, and doing that, you're also freeing your rib cage. Okay, as you do that, let's just round the elbows a little bit. So slide round, round, round. Okay, let's place the arms in front of you and still continue that shoulder slide, side to side. Good. Good. We're going to do some of the other body positions. Let's try the pelvic tilt position. Be a little bit apart, tuck in, and it's a slow tilt back. Good. Straighten your legs now. With your legs straight, just come forward Keep your spine straight. Excellent. Good. Let's do that again. Pelvic tilt and shoulder tilt. There we go. Now, the arch, rib cage forward. Good. And now rib cage in and rounded back. Arch position, contracted position. Arch. Later on we'll do these things more rhythmically when we have the music, but now I'd like you to lift your right heel with the legs close together and just bring your hip up and down. This is called, keep the hip up, this is a sideways contraction, and I'm going to bring the hip up into that position. A little sharper now, like this. Good. 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 Now hold the hip up and drop the hip from the sideways contraction position. Drop the hip. And drop. And drop. Good. We're going to accompany that with arms. Good. Excellent arm positions later. Now let the feet a little bit apart. Keep your knees loose and slide out. Good. Hip slide is what this is called. Hip slide. Hip slide. Hip slide. Good. And now hip extension. Right heel up. Pick up the hip. Right. And keep the knees relaxed. Way out. Good. And the shoulders good, or a little bit away from the hip. Just a little bit. That's perfect. Good. Now quickly we'll just go over them again. We're going to do shoulder slant, shoulder slant, shoulder slide, shoulder slide, pelvic tilt, shoulder tilt, arch, contraction, sideways contraction, hip slide, and hip extension. And of course, with all of these things, we add beautiful hands and arms. Good. That wraps it up for the 9 body positions. We're going to start now with the finger cymbals. In some countries, they're called zills, and in some countries, they're called sagat. They're worn on the thumb and middle finger near the base of the nail. So Lisa, you put yours on, I'll put mine on. Thumb and middle finger. They can make a variety of sounds, clicking, clapping sounds. And we're going to start with a very simple rhythm. And once you get them on, it's hard to do. I know, they are. They have to be very tight, by the way, otherwise they fly off. I know you got it. Now, we're ready to begin to practice with the zills. I just want you to start with, actually, since you are always facing the same way, your left. Following the rhythm. And we're going to see this right here. There you go. Perfect. try now to do another step. Without playing the zills, let's just do a twist. I'm going from here to revolving my foot like this. Let's go back to just a single beat with the left hand. When you hear the rhythm, just do the same walk. We won't add the zills right away. And go back to this. just did alternating one beat on each hand like this. One, two, it's hard. It's hard. Just listen to me, because this is the other way that we will also play the zills. Now, I'm just going to show you how we're going to now alternate between the two styles. Want to try with me? And. You're getting it. Sometimes I have a little poem that goes with that second style. It goes like this. As you're practicing, you start to relax your fingers, hold your zills closer together, and play faster and faster. You can't really play fast if you let your fingers spring apart. You have to keep them close together. So let's just start slower with that second style. And we'll do down, down, down.
It's very hard with the wrists.
Yes, yes. Now what if we did this? Starting with your weight on the left foot. I'm going to do this at a fairly slow pace. Go. That's great. Whenever you get mixed up, just go back to playing that basic beat. Now here's a couple of other little interesting tricks with the zills. Sometimes they do what I call a brush. Right. And other times they trill like this. I'm putting one zill between the other. Very good, very good. So, I hope that you have gotten a lot out of your zill class. As I tell all students, the zills are the hardest part of the entire dance, coordinating them with the steps. But once you learn it, you know it forever. thank you very much, Lisa. I hope you enjoyed your class.
Thank you very much.
Okay, how about just pressing your palms together, slowly pulling up into your elbows. You see what I'm doing? Pressing through your elbows, so that you're creating a little bit of stretch into your wrist area. Just like that. And now, the back of the palms, again pushing the elbows downward, so that we're working on, again, angles to the wrist. And you'll see why in a minute. See the angle to the wrist? Okay, let's do this. Look at my hands. I haven't lost the angle. Let's start again. Much more angle to the wrist. See, I have my wrist really bent. And now I'm not straightening it, but I'm bringing it up. And look, I want you not to lose the angle to the wrist. Out. Straight down, forward, up, and out. Straight down, forward, up, and out. Notice how I'm slightly straightening my fingers as I push out. See, if you didn't have that angle to your wrist circle would look just like this. You have to have that strong angle to the wrist to get that beautiful circular feminine movement that's so important in the dance. I want you to pose with the arms high, your right heel up in a dancer's pose, and I want you to bring your arm down in that full circle if you can. And the other arm. Notice I'm bringing it down directly in front of me, not to the side, but I'm using that wrist angle. Push out. Pull. Push out. And in. Out. Make sure you can see me. Notice I keep this angle, same angle going up as coming down. Same angle, I'm not coming down like this, I'm coming down like this. And up and down. Other hand, same thing. Straight in front of you. Very nice. Good. Good. Hold this position. Other hand ready. They're going to pass each other. Don't change the angles. Very nice. Look at the angle going up and look at the angle going down. They don't change. They don't change. No, no. Don't change them. Don't change now. Keep them the same way all the way up and all the way down. Okay, press the palms together and just push the fingers from one side to the other. Now I'm making this angle without using my wrist, just my fingers. Flexible fingers. See what I'm doing? Right. See, I'm not doing it with my wrists. I'm doing it with my fingers. fingers straight up. I want you to push your fingers to your right, just your fingers. Move your hand to the right. Hold it there. Just your fingers to the left. Just your fingers only. Move your hand to the left. Fingers only. Hand. Fingers only, then the hand. Fingers first, and then the hand. Fingers first, then the hand. So what I'm doing, I'm not just bringing my hands up like this. I'm really bringing them up in a snake-like movement, so it's like this. Let me see everybody do that. One side, the other side. Remember, it's fingers first, not fingers first and then the hand. Now, hands forward. Relax your fingers. Relax index fingers slightly higher than the other fingers. Okay, another hand and arm movement that's kind of tricky. I'm bringing my arm up as if I'm holding a large round balloon. Start again. Your palm is facing your body. And straight out to the side, your elbow's really pulling your arm up. And down in an opposing curve. Like this, coming up, all the way up like that, and down. All the way up. Right. What I want you to do, even though it might hurt at first, is I don't want you to go this far and then straighten your hand the rest of the way. I want you to keep that curve as high up as you can go before changing. Excellent. Other side. Leading with the elbow going up. Leading with the elbow going up, like you're holding something round. That's good. And then bend the elbow a little bit going down. Okay. One arm up slowly. And hold in the position where you're going to lower the arm. The other arm is ready in the opposing curve. Look. And change. Good. Oh, that was good. One is going up and one is going down. Beautiful. Take your time. Bring the arms up now. I want you to cross your wrists and have the palms facing each other. Overhead. Head slides. Release. Snake arms. And snake hands. That's it. All the way up. Watch my fingers. What I did there is instead of keeping my hands relaxed, I suddenly spread the fingers apart. So you're bringing the hands up softly, and then that's nice. Good. Okay, we're going to do a little swivel shimmy, and we're going to show you, I'm going to show you how with the swivel shimmy, the arms and hands are still delicate, important, feminine. Can you see me? Can you see me? A little shimmy. This is a swivel shimmy. If you use your elbows for a minute, back and forth, you'll see the direction right now that this shimmy is going in. It's forward and back, like this. And if you tighten up here, see, I'm tightening. It's almost like I'm making a muscle, but I'm not using my hands. You don't want to do this when you're shimmying. You want to control the hands. So, we're going to have a toxeme. Notice how the toxeme goes with the shimmy. Very delicate, very small. I'm not moving my upper body. My upper body is not connected to my hips. So try to relax up here. So relax your shoulders. Just a small shimmy. And here's the test. A drum roll with that too. Why don't we have a little drum roll? Same thing. Now, you still wouldn't use your hands in a choppy manner. You would still use your hands delicately to kind of frame the hips. Frame the hips. Slow, slow, slow. Crescendo, and you're hired. Okay, we're going to do some basic things now. So, actually, I could go on and show you a little bit, one more thing with the hands. I want to play a slightly faster rhythm, sort of a medium tempo, please. Just watch what I'm going to do with my hands. I call that the Turkish finger snap. Have your left hand facing you. As a matter of fact, I'll turn this way so you can see. My left hand is facing me, my right hand is facing out. I'm going to place my left hand in the curve between the thumb and the index finger of my right hand. And I'm going to hold my left hand. But it's where I'm holding it that's important. I'm holding it with these three fingers against these three fingers, leaving the index fingers free. Right, but down here at the base of those fingers, not up here, but down here, leaving the index fingers free. I'm waiting to hear a loud snapping sound. Very funny. Almost. You have to practice it a little bit, and don't keep your index finger stiff and straight. Keep it loose so that you get that. Okay. We're going to do some basic body positions now. Scott will play something nice and slow. We're going to start with shoulder slants. Let's just drop the shoulder And you're going to see that I do accompany beautiful hand movements with all these positions. Now notice I'm going to change the direction of the hand by bringing it down, but look what I'm going to do. Right. Same thing on this side now. Slowly bring your shoulder down. Back up, and look how important that angle is. Right, those wrist angles are so much a part of the Oriental dance. Okay, now shoulder slide, where I'm going straight across to each side. As you go across, lift the shoulder just a little bit, that's good. But do it gradually, not too fast. If you're doing it right, your rib cage is also sliding from side to side. Don't have it too high now. See, it should be the same level as the other shoulder. Okay, now with maybe something slow and rhythmic. Here's the shoulder slide. I want you to try to do the shoulder slide with your arms at different levels. Don't lose the shoulder slide. Arms high, higher. Shoulder slide way out. I want to see you really use your shoulders loosely. Good. Good. Right heel up now. Now, most beginner students have a tendency to lock their other knee. You have to keep the other knee loose in order to do this side waist contraction. Lift the hip up and feel like you're pinching in at your waist and down. But the heel stays up. But it's quite a trip up here. And with both knees bent, you shouldn't be moving your shoulders up and down. Keep the heel up. Don't move the heel at all. The heel stays up. Together. You have to keep both knees very loose in order to do this. See, I don't want to see this. Other side. Way up, way up. The other knee has to be bent and loose. If it's locked, you're going to move everything. Beautiful arms. Left side now. Notice now the hand is going to enhance the movement. Notice again the hands draw attention to what I'm doing with my hip. Your hip out to the side. You have to keep both knees quite bent in order to get one hip up and pull the other hip down. See how bent this knee is? Look, it's not just this knee going like this, but it's this knee going like this. So it's an opposition between the hips. One going up, one going down. Hold the hip up now, your left hip, and drop it. This time the other knee doesn't do anything. pelvic tilt, and shoulder tilt. A little lower. Pelvic tilt, bend the knees, tuck in a little bit, and up. Shoulder tilt, and pelvic tilt. You've got to bend your knees and tuck in. Okay, now, rib cage forward, rounded back. Rib cage forward and rounded back. Shoulders are forward now. They're not in a pelvic tilt anymore. The shoulders are in a line with the hips. Arch, contract. Very nice. Even bring your shoulders forward more, like this. Rounded back. Shoulders are really in a line with the hips. More. Good. I want you to work very hard today. Okay. Arch. Pelvic tilt. Contract. Shoulder tilt. Arch. Pelvic tilt. Contract. Shoulder tilt. Arch. Pelvic tilt. Contract. Shoulder tilt. Let me see that. Keep going. Arch, pelvic tilt, contract, shoulder tilt. Good. I want you to try it now with one heel up in a dancer's pose. Again, undulation. Keep going. Keep going. All the way back until your legs are straight. Let's do it together again. Arch first. Rib cage forward. Pelvic tilt. Go back from your center until your legs are straight. Straighten your knees. Both knees. But keep the heel up and come up from your rib cage. No, see, I'm not coming up like this. I'm coming up from here. From the ribs. Let me see that. So it's arch, pelvic tilt, contract, shoulder tilt. I want you to feel a lot happening in through your center, through your torso. I want you to do it now with one heel up. And now I want you to do it much slower, much smaller and faster. I'm not doing so much of an angle to my body. Instead of doing this, I'm making most of it happen in through my center, in through my torso. Good, good. And now hip slide. Hip slide. Feet a little bit apart. Let the shoulders drop. When you're out like this, let your shoulders drop away from the hip a little bit. Keep going. Hip slide. Hip slide. Hip slide. Hip slide. Hip slide. Pelvic tilt, hip slide, shoulder tilt. Big circle all around. Big circle. Those 4 points are being covered. Hip slide, pelvic tilt, hip slide, shoulder tilt. And what we're going to do now is a hip roll using some of the body positions that we just covered. Hip slide. And 2 on the side where you're pushing out, where your weight is, into a sideways contraction, lifting the hip into your waist. Keep it that way as you push into a hip slide to the other side. And lower the heel. So you end up in a hip slide with both feet apart and the knees are both relaxed. You can't have one knee straight and one knee bent. Like that, you have to have both knees relaxed. Hip slide. Sideways contraction. Keep pushing over to the other side and lower the heel. You're in a hip slide now with both heels down. That's the hip slide position. Both heels are down. Lift, pull in on the side waist, over, hip slide. Up, over, 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 hip slide. Up, over, 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 hip slide. Hip slide is both heels down, angled way out. Up, over, hip slide. Up, over, hip slide. You have to use your shoulders a little bit. See, I'm leaning away. You're keeping your upper body straight right now. I want you to use your shoulders. Angle. See what I'm doing? No. That's it. See? I'm angled. Up, over, and down. Up, over. The hip roll. Keep it soft and smooth. Okay, look what we're going to do now. We're going to do hip roll, hip roll, hip roll, and from the hip slide position, it's easy for me to go into a hip circle. So we're going to go from one to the other now, as if you were performing those undulations. Okay. Hip slide, pelvic tilt, hip slide, shoulder tilt, hip slide, up over, up over, up over, up over, and around. Not so much up here. Make the hips do all the work. It's not really a shoulder circle, it's a hip circle. That's better, much better. And it's big, it's not a small one. See, I'm not doing this right now. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing a very big circle. Huge, huge. Lower the arms. And then do a hip roll. I'm going to go into something a little faster right now. So kind of a medium tempo. We're just going to walk in place. Again, hands and arms are very important. So let's go. And walk in place. And again, the arms are so important. You're greeting your audience. It's like you're saying, hello, how are you? Look at the wrist. This is too high. You don't want to hunch your shoulders. Keep your shoulders up when you're a dancer. Pelvic tilt. Pretty fingers, pretty hands. Good. Beautiful hands and wrists. Notice the wrist angle. It's so important. I'm not angling. Okay, let's have a chiftatelli. Circle around. Drop, drop, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Lower the arms a little bit. Good. I'm dropping the hip down. 1, 2, 3. Good. Up, don't have your knees bent, have them relaxed. Look at the angle of my legs. All the weight is out here. You have to know these positions in order to do these movements. I'm not here. I'm here. All the weight is here. You should be able, in the hip slide position, to lift the other leg without changing the angle here. See what I mean? That's what I mean by all the weight here. And now shift all the weight here. All the weight is now on this side, not on this side. Okay. Up over, way out, way out. This is a hip slide. Look at my shoulders. Look at my hip. All the weight is out here. Take your time, way out. Gotta go way out. Can't go straight. See, I don't see too many great hip slide positions. But as I turn the foot, I lift the hip. So I'm doing this. But I'm not turning my shoulders. Lifting the hip. I want to see that ball of the foot move. Not the shoulders. The shoulders are facing forward. Pretty wrist. Show you the elements of it. I call it Arabic walk. Not that I've ever seen an Arab walk like this, but I just want to show you. My hip is going up and down, even in midair. Now, you don't actually step down with your whole foot, but I just want to give you the mechanics of what my hip is doing as I do that walk. I'm going like this. As I lift my heel and as I lift my foot, I'm going like this. No arms, no hands. Okay, I'm just going to do it very quickly across the floor to show you what it is. It's kind of fast. Where you bend your knees and you put your hip out of joint. I don't want any hospital bills for this, but what I'm doing is I'm not lifting my heels at all. I'm pushing my knee up, out, and down, up, out, and down. So here's the effect. No heels. Down, down. Let's do a little dance. Okay. We're going to do a 3-part dance just as if you were performing. I just want to explain something. When I book a dancer, I book her for a 25-minute show. And what she does in that 25 minutes are many different dance pieces that have a special sequence. For instance, she enters on a fast number, which is the greeting. It's like she's saying hello to her audience just the way we would if we're just walking into a room. After she does her greeting dance, she is covered, by the way, as she comes out in her veil. Her veil covers her costume. Then she unveils herself and uses her veil as part of that dance. And after the veil dance, she does a very short, fast dance again. And then she does a very slow Chipotelics fall, which she will take either a sword or a tray with candles, and she will use it as a prop during that very, very slow part. And she'll go to the floor and turn on the floor and do interesting floor things using a prop. After she does the very slow part and comes up with that prop, she gets rid of the prop and does a drum solo, just drums. After the drums, She does a finale dance in which she will bring people up from the audience to join her. So you have here a 5 or 6 part show, which does last about 25 minutes. And it has a perfect sequence, because you have the drums there, you have the prop, you have slow, you have fast, you have everything. Of course, she does play the finger cymbal Brazils when she comes out, first greets her audience. Does anybody have any questions about what the full show consists of? We try in our classes to cover all those parts to the show. In the beginner intermediate level, we touch upon finger cymbals and veils. I would say that the coordination between the finger cymbals and the steps is the hardest part of the whole dance, because you're doing something here and doing something there, and moving your wrists as well, which I insist on. So it's not easy. Hope that you will, in your own way, promote the beauty and the art of the dance. Okay, thank you. And now, a little more dancing. We're going to do a very short 3-part show. Fast, slow, back to fast. Only with steps you already know. Okay. I will be very close to the mirror.
Yes.
Okay. Each one should only be about 2 minutes. Let's come out like this.
Thank you.